Okay, so we're back with more To End All Wars. As you may have noticed, this will be a new episode. So, Paul von Hindenburg here is on the retreat against a much larger, or alternatively, much more rested force. So, we'll try to, we'll see whether or not we could perhaps, delay battle and march back, and hopefully get away here. So, that'll be that. And alright, yeah, so it'll be naturally a defeat because we have delayed and we have decided to pull back. But this battle has, it's actually gone our way. It doesn't look like, yeah, their suppression fire thing didn't work out, and they took quite a few losses in their, in their attack, so that's good. Fighting against Radomir Putnik over here, what I think we'll do here is we'll go for actually, let's see what the game suggests for us. It'll be the cavalry breakthrough again, so I guess we'll go with that, seeing as how they have a tendency to go with the defensive emplacements. Going off the sliders, it looks like we won that battle, but for whatever reasons, defeat. Either way, I guess the battle went in really close. They failed one of their rounds, where they were countered, rather. Our plans all went through, so that was rather nice. But nevertheless, I mean, that is a lot of casualties coming from this place. But as you can see, the amount of people Radomir Putnik has been steadily dropping. So a few of these minor battles, I guess. Not too terribly important battles. And this one is actually kind of neat. It looks like, yeah, they're actually bringing a major army down here to threaten our Minsk Express line. And they took quite a few casualties trying to break through here, though, so that went back and forth. And would you look at that? So there, looks like we had taken the... Ooh, what is this? We had won a battle. But they got away with a major army, so we'll have to check Italy. And alright, so some more losses come out. A stalemate happens here. Another stalemate inside this area. Alright. So, lots of activity early August 1915. So this was, yeah, I think the game's gone full circle now for 1 year. And man, that actually felt like quite a long time. I thought the game was going to be on a much more shorter scale here, just going off of the turn number and the amount that we played so far. But yeah, so that is 1 whole year inside the game. And well, going from there, I mean, a lot of things have happened for sure. At that point, it looks like, yeah, we had a few battles over here in Sicily or in Italy. We'll take an in-depth look at those things later on, but for now, it looks like, yeah, Russia is just doing its thing. I'm really intrigued by what'll happen in Serbia and region. And would you look at that? We get full intel on these guys now. So we get to see their blob army, which for whatever reason only has a 20% penalty inside for a stack that big. As you can see here, our penalty can go up to some inordinate extent, yet theirs can't. So I'm going to check this for a second. I'm going to check whether or not the penalty thing is handled for the AI all that well, because I think for the AI, their settings here are slightly different. So with that said, I'm just checking over the AI behavior because it looks like they only have a maximum of 20 for their army stack penalty, whereas us we have this huge thing. So that's kind of unfair there. Let's see, what else can I do here? These scouts can probably go over through the border. We'll get these guys to check out whatever, really. I don't think these scouts can do too much though. What is happening over the world? All of those war things are decreasing. And a lot of troops have arrived. Ooh, we actually have a lot of army divisions ready. So that is quite the thing to note over here. This was the army that we had fought against repeatedly. So this was quite the grindcore battle here, but they're trapped and they should just gradually dissolve there, so that's good. On the front lines here, it looks like the Italians are making a play for one of our fortresses. It's a good thing that we had reserves moved up here, so we should have a decent amount of response here for them. And on this line, yeah, the Italians looks like they pulled back here, so there was no major engagement. I guess they thought that they couldn't win or anything, but we'll re-entrench on these lines, and we'll just dig in and we'll wait. So that's all along the lines here, and we'll just do that for the Italian front. Going back to the places that we want to start our offenses. So we've taken the Romanian capital now, so that's good. Managed to cap that off. All we need to do is secure this area, and I'm guessing that now that their capital is gone, I don't know if they'll be able to do too much. Ooh, they actually have a lot of forts over here, so I think I'll get our guys to defend. Coming up here, taking a look at Romania's little flag here. They have their capital removed, so that should, yeah, that blocks certain actions from being taken, but doesn't look like it's going to do too much. Great Britain's still in the war. That thing jumped up to a whopping 92%, so make do with that what you will. Looks like the British will drop out of the war fairly soon. So the capital of these guys have been taken. We'll get Bulgarian High Command to guard this location. I'll see whether or not we can perhaps make a corps out of the infantry and all to handle that. Because what I think I'll do here is that I'll get High Command to join up with the reserves, and we'll get them to set up another force. First Army for the Ottoman Empire I think will advance. I'll get them to make a push into one of these secondary towns, and that'll be it for them. Over here it looks like they're making a small push. That is nothing we should worry about there, so I'll leave it at that. Let's see, we still have, this army is actually pretty badly mangled, so we'll send them back to this area over here. We'll pull in some fresh guys here, not too fresh, but we'll make do with that. And I think we'll go for another round here shortly. So that's the situation here. We'll wait a day, we'll rest it out, and we'll go back. The Russian front. Here, our guys are making decent progress. They're moving forwards, but a lot of these Russian icons are starting to appear. These are just one-unit groups, so they're able to cut off this supply network, but they're not going to be able to do too much else from that. What I think we'll do here is that we'll commit to a minor campaign here, and the idea is to use our numbers here with our big army corps and all, and I want to smash these guys so that we can perhaps move them out of the way on this road. So we'll do exactly that. Likewise, I'm going to send 7th Corps up here to help out clearing the road clearing up this road over here. So this advance is going pretty well. I think I'll get these guys to railroad it forwards one turn and cross the river like that. Inside this area of the world, I can't see where their army is, so make an assumption here. I think Alexander's army was liquidated, so we'll get these guys to go on the offensive and push. Over here, same thing, or actually over here what we could do is, no, that'll take us 27 days, so that's not worth it. I guess we'll get these guys to continue trucking, and we'll get these guys to move forwards, and we'll see whether or not we can reopen the Minsk Express, and just as a contingency, we'll forward our own supplies. In this region of the world, we have a fairly large-sized army trap. I'm going to see whether or not we can commit to an offensive, hopefully take that location, destroy everything inside there. Over here, same thing. They're fighting against 98 power, probably just going to be fortress guns, or not even that. So we'll go and do that. This area over here, let's get von Hindenburg's army to rest and retreat in Poison for a while, get them refitted with gear. And so likewise inside this area, because I think the forces on the line here are running out of guys to throw into the mix. And that is just something that we should expect from these long campaigns. So that'll be the movements on our fronts for now, which moves to recruitment, which rather not moves to recruitment, but it moves to handling the upcoming reinforcements. So I think what I'll do here is that I'll just process the turn, and I'll just end off here for the turn. And when we come back, I'll have the turn processed and all of the reinforcements allocated. So see you then. Okay, so you can definitely feel the turns here getting longer is one thing. Alright, so starting off, some minor battles, I guess. Ooh. So lots of plays all around there. Had a few victories, had a few defeats. And it looks like now we're starting to encounter some resistance on this line, but it looks like we're winning here, so that's good. And ooh, this is actually quite a big army. This is the force trying to cut off the leading troops going to Petrograd over there. So I'm not so making out the stuff coming from there. It looks like they do indeed have something worthwhile fighting there. Looks like the Romanians are starting to put up a fight once again. Though we have their capital, and they seem to be putting troops back from the frontiers. So that's nice to know. Let's see. The one thing that I'm really I'm really excited about right now is seeing whether or not Great Britain here actually leaves the war. Because last turn they had 92% rebel value of 92% there. So this turn they have a 12% chance in leaving the war, and that's pretty good chances here. So we'll see. And I think the first thing I'm going to do here, as soon as the turn actually finishes processing, is hop over to that diplomacy panel. Really hope that that does happen, though now, I mean, it's kind of expected for them to quit, actually. There. So new log, war sentiment is decreasing. Great Britain looks like, they're still in the war. So checking over them. They are at 97%, so not looking too well there. Checking over here, Romania's little status starting to build up, so that's not too bad. Germany is also swinging over, so that is something that we might want to look into. I mean, it looks like the people in Great Britain are constantly using this quell concessions or give concessions thing to cancel things out, seeing as how it's been 6 turns since they've enacted that, so 3 months. And with that said, I mean, yeah, that definitely costs a lot there. And I think this is a one-time thing. We're actually, so there's a 12-turn cooldown, so I guess that's actually currently on its cooldown phase. So that's not that bad. They also did change government. I mean, either way, this removes a lot of stuff from their side. So France is holding up, Russia's holding up, everything else is holding up, and that rebellion meter isn't going down. So that's that's the diplomacy scene for this turn. Checking out the morale stats, it looks like, the Western powers are dropping fairly heavily there, while the Eastern powers is just sitting still, so we do need to hurry them up on their morale thing, because as soon as we push that under 75, good things will happen for us on the Eastern front here. So let's see, what can we do? What can we do here? Because they seem to have quite the force established up here, actually. I could start to pull some troops from Minsk and this town right here into the north, so that we can front some more guys and protect the immediate rear of our guys here on crossing the river and all. Though that might be more dangerous than, say, just leaving a force here to defend in itself. So right now, 7th Corps should have arrived. Yeah, that has happened here. They're threatening us with a few minor regular and militia units. Presumably these are the guys coming from behind the lines. I think I'll get our guys to make a slight push. We'll see whether or not we can perhaps clear off some of the guys on this road here. And we are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4... five tiles away from taking out their capital. So, you know what? I'm gonna go through with this. I'm gonna continue making that drive, irregardless of the threat of encirclement here. We'll see whether or not that pays off, I guess, in a couple of turns. So, keeping that in mind, here's what I think I'll do. I'll get these guys to rotate forwards, I'll get them to secure that portion of the line, and over here we had a nice victory. It looks like, yeah, there's still a lot of guys inside this area. And, yeah, they're making a siege attempt here as well. I think we can shuttle a few reinforcements like that to help them out. Though, Königsberg doesn't... I want to say that they won't fall very soon, but that might be dangerous just leaving them by themselves. I think we'll get another reserve army to help them out. Over here we should have... I swear we should have taken this fortress. Or at least I think I issued the attack order there. Either way, if nothing happened, likewise over here, I think I issued the attack order, but looks like these guys are still holding on, so we'll launch another attack. Inside Warsaw, some of our infantry should have arrived. Those were the guys that I had quickly assembled. And what I'm going to do now is that, as you can see here, these infantry units are just completely bled dry at that point. I'm going to send them back to Poison, hopefully. By rail, hopefully, as well. Come on, game, do its thing. Come on. No? There we go. So we're going to rail them back. We're going to get them resupplied and all. And with this new bulge of guys, I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to get these forces recombined and reset up so we have some decent cores now. So there. So that should put Paul von Hindenburg's corps back into the fight. And would you look at that? They have a ton of manpower now. So with that said, I'm going to send them back out here. And I'm going to see whether or not we can perhaps get them to make a few jabs at the big army right here. They seem to be assembling their forces to attack some of my smaller forces over here, so I'll put these guys on defense for now. And over here, let's see. Their forces on this line here are starting to splinter off. What is this? This is only cavalry. This is only infantry, so... the Russian forces are actually dissipating inside this area. I guess they're moving forwards to, they're moving northwards. In that case, let's get 1st Army, and let's get 3rd Army here to make a slight offensive, and tie down some of their guys there. Inside this region of the world, we'll just continue sieging. The Ottoman Empire armies seem to have bled out really fastly on morale. That might just be due to the fact that they technically shouldn't be inside this region or something along those lines. The Ageod games are usually pretty stingy about that, so perhaps, maybe not. These two armies are ready, so we'll commit them to an offensive, and let's see whether or not we can really go for broke on this and take this Serbian army out, because that would be a major thing for us. So, handles that front. Over here, we're sieging this town. How many people are in this town? Not enough for us to see. We're actually, even if we wanted to siege that, we couldn't. So, that is that. Over here at Kars, our army was beaten back. We could go for round 2, though, actually, I think we will. We'll go for round 2 next turn. Nothing probably happened on this front, and honestly, I don't know if I should expect a counterattack from the AI here. I mean, it might happen, it might not. So, I guess I could. I guess I could is the answer there. Nah, I think we'll keep our guys back for now. So this situation over here is... we'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's just that. It's not much to say. Can't really change too much. So we'll let it do its thing. Over here we'll make another offensive. Hopefully these guys join in and join on that fight. Over here at Fitch, I don't know why our guys fled so fast, but I mean they did, so that's the end of that story. So now we're left with, I see they were just a army stack, so they couldn't do too much. Yeah, in this area we might have a problem. We need some corps to reinforce that location. We're actually, what we need more is leaders, so I think I'll just send a leader over here and I'll get them to combine and get those forces rallied up and ready. So we'll do that inside this sector of the world. We could try to launch we could try to launch an attack here. The only thing joining them would be this army right here, not the 400 or nearly 500 army stack right there. So we could try to do something like that. And let's see. Or no. Doesn't look like you can actually enter this tile from the river. So in that case, I think I'll shuttle these guys over here for defensive purposes. So they should use the defensive bonus to their advantage and hold them like that. On this line, our guys are assembling. They have they're entrenching down, so I think the front has been stabilized there. In that case, that will be another turn completed here, seeing as there's no more reinforcements to deal with. I'm really, I'm really anticipating, or I'm really glad that the British here will be out of war, because that should lower down the reserve stockpiles of their alliance heavily. So we'll see whether or not that happens in next turn shortly here. Okay, so starting off, we fight a battle near some fort, and we take quite a few casualties. All right. So, moving forwards, looks like the fort of Kars was taken back by the Russians, so that is something, not something that we necessarily have to be worried about. And okay, so a few minor battles here and there as well. Near Grass, once again, we had encircled quite a few of these Austrian troops. We had a defeat here, but oddly enough, we didn't lose any guys. And we made a push here as well into a few other locations, did some damage, though we had to pull back. So, yeah, a few more of those things, that's pretty much that. And, ooh, a naval battle as well. So we're finally lost the Königsberg after quite the long time on the run there. So, now once again, I just wanted to see the end result of the thing going on here inside Great Britain, and afterwards I think we'll just leave off on this turn. The turn time is really building up right now is the thing. I mean, it used to be that these turns were not too terribly long, like perhaps a minute or two. Or no, actually, there's still a few battles here. But now, it's getting to the point where I could like actually do some work between the between this the turns here. I was working on a PowerPoint thing, just as is. So that is kind of alarming, actually, seeing as that we're only, 1915, right? Once that doubles, that might be quite the problem. So it looks like finally we have a good attempt here at breaking through Vladimir Putin's troop here. Hopefully the frontages will be in our favor, seeing as how we have almost double their combat power. And yeah, that ended on the assault phase. That looks like it took down a really, really big chunk of their guys. We lost a few divisions. They are starting to bleed out, and going under that assumption again that the initial number here isn't adjusted, or is the actual starting amount, not the final amount. It looks like they lost a good chunk of their army, and yeah, it looks like the values here reflect that. We'll go for round 2 once more. Ooh. And yes, indeed, that is the initial starting amount. So that really grinded him down. I think we made some real progress here. We actually beat Vladimir Putin's army down here. So at least that's good. Looks like this is actually a defeat on the Minsk Express line. So that might be slightly worrying. Round 3 with Vladimir Putin. Hopefully this will do really great results for morale, because Serbia is practically won that, going off of that. And that would mean that we can transport the guys there from fighting in Serbia to some other front, which would be really, really nice. That should also factor into the Eastern powers' morale as a whole thing, instead of just one thing, as a whole, rather than say the country, is what I meant. And by doing that, we might be able to get that magical 90 or 75 mark. So let's see. Yeah, long turn processing times. Now that might have to that it's actually quite a big concern. This might be just like 45 minutes of footage between the two videos here, but the thing is that it took like an hour and 30 minutes to record this. So let's see. Lots of oh, there we go. Now we have map control. click on this. Let's see. So this is the updated log. War is decreasing in lots of countries. I see Great Britain is still in here. Checking out their country banner, that should be at rebels 100%. So within the next 5 turns, Great Britain is expected to drop out, or something along those lines of that. I'm not feeling for stats right now, or probability right now, but we have a 1 in 5 chance of getting them out of the war, so that's not bad. Right, so clearing up this line, they're bringing in a lot of guys. Our guys depend on supplies if they want to press forwards here onto Petrograd. The thing is that the Velki Luki here actually carries a decent amount here. And in addition, this town right here, which is unfortunately currently being sieged, though nevertheless, it also has a decent amount of supplies. So, let's see. We can probably open up the Minsk Express line here if we get rid of some of the backlog of troops over here. 7th Corps was committed to a battle, and doesn't look like they did too much. We're still sending the 2 army corps forwards, and they haven't even touched their rations of supplies yet, so that is very good. In that case, here's what I think I'll do. I'll get the army corps to, first and foremost, split these guns between them is one thing. And I'll get these guys to move forwards once more, and hopefully set up some nice security efforts here. So yeah, we'll get them through the country. Over here we made a breach into the fort, so we should be able to start up the siege process again. These guys should go in, they should hopefully clear it out. Von Hindenburg's corps really takes morale or cohesion casualties, despite the fact that they should be pretty fairly well off. Either way, they'll fight a major battle over there. All along the front, things are looking good as they can be for now. I think I'll just leave off here, so I'll save the game here. We'll leave off with a check of the objective screen here. So let's see. Western powers morale is ever low. Eastern morale power is holding. And taking a look at our stats here, looks like, yeah, a lot of casualties, but yeah, things are holding is the thing. So that'll be that. Be back next time, I guess. And would you look at that? They're finally whittled down to only 16 combat power. So at least the Serbian front is wrapping up.